All right, Brad, it's week 10 of the NFL season. I'm loath to talk about bad luck stories, but variance was on my side, best bet-wise, on the Sunday night game last week.
God.
Yeah, so I had Josh Down 60-plus receiving yards, literally last drive. The Colts offense didn't fire like we thought at all, but last drive it got me to exactly 66-0. So that luck was on my side. It was not on your side, mate. First quarter over. Colts were marching on the field. Jonathan Taylor fumbles, and then it doubles down on the back end with Minnesota, with Darnold throwing a pick in the end zone as well. And I mean, there's still 7 minutes left in that first quarter as well, so could have got up the field no problem and got even a field goal.
Also had Falcons over 27 and a half. 4 touchdowns, did they go for 2? I didn't actually see what happened.
Botched extra point. I thought that. It came up in the Telegram group, and somebody said, why did they do that? And I said, because they're CUNTS. But it wasn't. It was actually a botched extra point, man. So when it's not with you, it's just not with you. It's just
over 27 and a half, 4 touchdowns, you still lose. It's good fun.
Absolute killer, man. Absolute killer. You know what's a killer for the people in Germany this week? They get the Panthers and the Giants. Those poor misfortunes. They get Daniel Jones and Bryce Young. I don't have anything in that, so I think we're going to crack on. Apologies for anyone who's going to be watching that game, but look, there's probably some angle somewhere, but I just don't have one. First player prop I want to talk about of the week would be the Saints and the Falcons. Falcons currently laying 3.5. Our Saints getting 3.5 at home. Derek Carr's got no one to throw the football to, but somebody who might pick up a bit of slack is Juwan Johnson, 25-plus receiving yards. You come back at 186. Kind of has this feel of a wider receiver as well. And Carr, he just had 2 targets last week, but he had like 41 yards. He has that small bit of explosive ability that maybe a few other guys don't have. So, look, no Chris Olave, no Shaheed. No Bob Means, whatever that's worth. So you've got MVS is in there, new signing, Cedric Wilson as well. Just got no one to throw the ball to. I think Alvin Kamara's reception line, I think, is like 6.5, which tells its own story in a big way. So Juwan Johnson, 25-plus receiving yards at 186 is my first bet of the week. But moving on to you, Matt. The Patriots are in Chicago. They're getting 6.5 in the full game. 38.5 is the total. You like them in the first half. Plus 3.5, 191. Problems in Chicago, mate, all of a sudden.
Big problems in Chicago. Yeah. And I think it's just bad coaching. Like, again, I listen to all these like film nut podcasts, and they're all saying, like, last week, Arizona well coached, and just Chicago is just underprepared. And you can see it in the amount of time Caleb Williams is holding the ball. So it was time to throw about 3 seconds first 6 weeks of the season. And then the last 2 weeks, he's gone up to about 3.5 seconds. And 3.5 seconds is way too long. Like, you can't be holding the ball 3.5 seconds. Like, Tua's famous for getting it out in like 2.1. So you imagine nearly an extra second and a half he's holding the ball. And one way in which they're specifically badly coached is the script. We like the script. And the Bears are dead last in the entire NFL in first quarter success rate. And I think it is coaching. Like, you look at the teams at the top of the list, it's the Vikings, it's the Lions, it's teams you would think as well coached. And it makes sense. Like, you've got time to prepare, good script. Yeah. Bears are dead last. Patriots are 14th. And honestly, they're getting 3.5 in the first half. I think you could stop there. But there was a nice note from our old pal Judah Fortgang, who has his Substack Run the Damn Ball. And he's got this nice chart, basically QB production versus disruption. Like, how, if you're pressured or if the play is well covered, can you still produce? And Drake May is in the top right quadrant of this little box, along with Patrick Mahomes, along with Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels. So obviously he's mobile. You see him every week sort of rip off a 25-yarder. And you kind of need that with the Patriots offensive line. So, yeah, I just think you've got a decent script versus a crap script, a fine coach team against a very poorly coached team. One of the teams gets 6.5 or 3.5 the first half.
Yeah, well, good guess. You mentioned Judah. He's gone behind the paywall with his stuff. Did you pay for it? Is it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, I pay for like loads of random Substack nonsense, but I am betting several grand a week on these games. Like, if it's £8 a month for Judah and he's got one.
No, his stuff is good. His stuff is very good. Yeah, 100%. I need to get stuff back into it. And obviously, He's over in the Matchbook pod as well this season. We're obviously like to be associated with Matchbook. We're going to quote largely prices from Matchbook here, and the Bet Builder of the Week will be from Matchbook as well. But they're also pricing up the single. So if you just add one selection off the Bet Builder part, it will populate a price for the single. And if you want to get involved with Matchbook, use the promo code even pod50, pod50. I'll get there eventually. And full terms and conditions can be found under promotions tab at matchbook.com. Same game, Brad. Hunter Henry, last couple of weeks since Drake May is back in the fold. What do we look at? Rookie quarterbacks, tight ends. Best friends. Love him. Absolutely love him. The big body, just get him in between the numbers. And Henry's fast becoming the favorite target of Drake May. And he's getting a 24% first read. Look at Drake May. And even in his 3 starts, 18% target share in total. And yeah, he's not a bad player. Look, he's not going to like set the world alight in any way, but 50 yards against his Bears secondary, I think is doable, and it's a good price at 2.15. So yeah, Hunter Henry in that game as well for me, man. Like in that, this is a guy we will have heard of. You know, this guy Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league, bar none. It's very rare we put up the absolute square kind of player props, but this one, in terms of the matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars secondary, is just too much to resist. And look, he's a pretty large price. 90 plus receiving yards, you can back a 173. I've gone up in the ladder to 100 plus receiving yards at 2.0. Vertical routes is his thing. And the one thing and there's lots that the Jaguars secondary can't defend, and they really can't defend that guy who just goes straight against them and gets vertical. And this is a perfect matchup for Justin Jefferson here. Also, Jags just not sending the blitz at the moment. They're blitzing at the lowest rate in the league, and it's been the lowest across the league since 2022 that the Jets had. Found that stat on NFL.com this morning, which I was quite surprised by. So, yeah, this one screams to me of Justin Jefferson. Even last week, in a relatively negative game script section in the second half, 137 yards. He's easily Darnold's favorite target, and why wouldn't he be? So, yeah, leads the league in receiving yards at the moment, 783 yards, and in target share. So he's getting 33% target share. There's 1 in 3 from every Sam Darnold pass. So, yeah, the only problem is they cut Tom the Gates out, put them out the gates, and, you know, that's the nature of it, you know. But I'll take a chance with Justin Jefferson 100 plus 2.0. Let's talk about a game that we may not necessarily have a bet in, but we do. I will have the Bet Builder of the Week in this one. 49ers, the Bucs. Christian McCaffrey is back here, Brad. Talk to me about him, mate. Bucs getting 6.5 at home at plus money.
Yeah, what's the total currently?
Total is 50.5. It's a high total.
So what I like the most is the 49ers scoring 1 billion points. And so it's McCaffrey back, which we look at the red zone percentage. So how many times when you get in the red zone are you converting that to a touchdown? Last year, 49ers best in the league, 67%. This year, they're 27th in the league, 47%. And I think the huge part of that is McCaffrey. Again, you listen to the film guys. He just gives them so many options out the backfield because you can't cover him with a linebacker because he will score a touchdown because he catches it like a receiver. I think immediately you're going to see some improvement there. Obviously, Shanahan off the bye, cooking up all sorts in his wok. He's a man with the script and extra time to prepare. Last year off the bye, they came out and they smashed the Jags 34-3, and then it's the spot for the Bucs. Monday Night Football. Overtime, 85 plays they were on the field. They're crap defense anyway, the Bucs. I don't have their DVOA in front of me, but it's got to be bottom 10. So yeah, 6 days rest, off overtime and 85 plays while the 49ers have a bye. That is about as bad a spot as you can imagine. So I think the 49ers are going to score some points. So maybe it's just 49ers team total. I haven't actually decided the best way to play that yet. I did bet a bit of 49ers on the handicap, but I think the Bucs are still moving it even without the receivers. I haven't checked. Wouldn't be surprised if you've got another K. Dotton bet for us.
He's in the Bet Builder. He's in the Bet Builder. Yeah, he has to be.
He's getting 33% of the first reads. I think they're going to get mad for him. I think it's probably just
if you trade Palmer, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Sterling Shepard as your 3 options, wide receivers, I mean, it's like K. Dotton's getting so many looks.
Yeah, go on. Give us the bet builder. And
All right, 50 plus for Kate Otten. The backfield again, Rashad White, an old favorite here, 20 plus receiving yards in a negative game script, or positive in terms of passing. They're going to be chasing it. They're going to have to keep up. Brock Purdy, 15 plus rushing yards, probably the bigger price one here as well in terms of he's rushing. He's nearly clipped this most weeks. Now, again, unconscious McCaffrey's back as well. But if he will absolutely take off if he gets any pressure up the middle, which the Bucs, to be fair, they probably will get something up there. And this last one is probably similar to Purdy's, probably a bit of a steep one. But if he starts, Juwan Jennings' line, I think, is at like 38.5 or something at the moment. But I put him in at 50 plus, and that brings it up to 8.5. He'll be in the slot, most likely. And that's where you'll do serious damage against this Bucs defense in particular if you look back through the season. So you've obviously got Debo and you have Kittle and you've obviously got McCaffrey coming out the backfield too on swing passes or whatever else. But that pays 8.5. Juwan Jennings 50 plus, Brock Purdy 50 plus rushing yards, Kate Otten, my old friend, 50 plus receiving yards, and Rashad White 20 plus receiving yards. Probably should just do Kate Otten as well on his own again. It's just, let me just double check what he's at. But they're still moving the ball. I was actually quite impressed with them in Kansas City again. That defense is pretty decent, So I mean, I think that the Bucs have something what they would have, even if Godwin was still there and Evans. So Otten's line has gone shooter up. So 50 plus on its own is 1.55. 60 plus is a more palatable price at 1.9. Not a major jump. We're back to 50 plus last week, so you're just jumping up 10 to get a decent price there. So yeah, would not turn anyone off that, man.
Yeah, I'm just on the matchbook bet builder, and 49ers over 27.5 is minus 133, and it's minus 139 on Pinnacle. So you're getting a decent price if you want to chuck that in as well, which I quite like.
I'm putting that in as a selection because we don't have a lot this week, man. So let's do that. Chuck it in. Minus 133. So all right. One other game, the early states before we go to the Sunday night game, the Bills Colts, and I'm looking at the team news. Amari Cooper seems to be a doubt. I wasn't really worried about this anyway, but Khalil Shakir, he is getting a lot of stuff drawn up for him in this offense, and I love it when you're on the right side of it. He's getting a lot of different looks, and he's been Josh Allen's go-to weapon in the last couple of weeks. Since week 7, he's leaned it up in a massive way, 21% target share with a 28.4% first read share. And there's a lot of design plays here. If you look at, I'd say if you look at a lot of these plays, you can see that they're Shakir plays. It's not even a case of, Allen's going through his progressions. They're liking him in this offense. And Kincaid's been a bit of a disappointment. Keon Coleman, there's a bit of a doubt over him this week. Looking at it, yes, I think he will go. Amari Cooper, bit of a doubt, but Shakir is really very much the mainstay in this offense. At 2.05, you can back him 60 plus receiving yards against a very porous secondary, which we saw last week as well in the shape of the Colts. Any thoughts on that game, man? Bills aside?
Yeah, probably Bills, but then a little bit banged up, aren't they? A little bit banged up. Yeah. Bills fully functional, I think, is nearly equal with Kansas City as best in the AFC, because the Ravens can't stop the pass, can they? But yeah, when Amari, when Shakir, when Dalton Kincaid, when they're all going, I think that's a very, very good team.
Lions Texans. Texans getting 3.5. You're liking the first half handicap. Was it minus 2.5? Sorry, because I actually forgot to update the banner. Was it minus 2.5 from a flat 2 you gave me earlier?
Minus 2.5, minus 120, 5 to 6.
Minus 2.5, 120. Okay, let me update that. But yeah, look, I mean, I was so impressed by the Lions last week. And in all honesty, I was out last week and I saw the weather reports of Green Bay, and I had a small bet in them, but I should have had way more, because the way both those offenses are set up, that Lions team, they play in the dome, this whole thing about Jared Goff's small hands and all this kind of thing. But the scheme, the O-line was just different level. And even this defense, and obviously, they're bringing in, what's the guy that brought him in from the Bengals?
Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
Good pass rusher, yeah.
Good pass rusher against an O-line. I don't want to be taking any more to give it, but Lions minus 2.5 first half for you. They're the side for you.
Yeah, I think it's... They're the top team in DVOA this week. Everyone knows about the O-line. I think everyone knows that it's the best OL in the league, and that travels wherever. but the defensive DVOA is probably under the radar. They're third, Detroit, in defensive DVOA. Now, this week, they go up against a Texans offense, which is crap. It is really bad. So 28th in pass block win rate, the Texans O-line, 32nd in pressure percentage allowed, 26th in early down success rate. If we go just first quarter into the script, Houston 28th. So bad at everything. So we're looking at the first half here. Again, scripted plays in the first quarter. Detroit, best success rate in the NFL. Houston, 28th. Detroit offense is first or second in pretty much every single metric you look at. And then so it looks like the injuries are going to go Lions' way as well. It looks like no Nico Collins. When I checked earlier. Oh, he has returned to practice 1 hour ago.
And he's coming off the IR. But like that doesn't necessarily mean you're starting this week, though. Could be on a snap count realistically.
Okay. But we'll see where he ends up. That's interesting, because he missed the first 2 practices of the week, so he has practice today. What about the pass rusher, Will Anderson? He's missing practice all week as well. Is he back as well? Don't tell me that.
I didn't see that one, man.
He's been missing practice all week.
Yeah.
No, he's missing practice.
He's
still missing practice.
Stay with it.
The NFL is a bloody nightmare. It's so much harder to bet than something like.
Well, the Fridays, we're recording later on Friday, so in a weird way, it actually could be beneficial or not beneficial. But the Friday injury report is the one. Yeah,
the sidebar is that I am doing a lot more betting like Sunday now. Just like Nico Collins is not. He's not Justin Jefferson, but he's close to Justin. He's a top 5 receiver in the NFL, and without him, you saw what Houston did against the Jets last week. Like they've got nothing. They've got Tank Dell, who's fine, and they can't block. They can't run the ball. They got no receivers. So Nico Collins and Will Anderson are huge to this game. So it's going to be nice to know whether they're actually playing the game or not. Anyway, I think but if you just do first half, sort of isolate it a little bit, just the scripts, and as I say, Lions best in the NFL, first in success rate. Houston 28th. So I don't know. I think that tells you how well coached they are, and obviously you get under the key number. And the Lions are a covering machine. They cover like 75% under Dan Campbell. And I think it's the O-line. I think Goff doesn't turn it over, and the O-line gets you 5 yards of carry.
That's the other thing. They don't make the mistakes. They don't beat themselves. And so they're favorites in the anti-post market now for the NFC. Like second or third favorites for the Super Bowl. But look. It's like the cat is out of the bag at them, right? But if you look at the NFC, like next to the couple in the betting, 49ers, Eagles, Vikings, Packers, they're more than likely, the way the record is going, probably would they be Vikings are there as well, but look, they're likely probably to have home advantage, right? They're going to win the division. I think
they're the best team in the NFC, aren't they?
Yeah. I just think even at the price, I know it's fairly square to say the favorite is the best team or whatever, but it's so hard not to be impressed by them.
I think they're a completely different class to Houston. Like Houston have won games, but I think who they were against the Jets is kind of who they are. They're not a well-coached team. They can't block. They don't have receivers in the minute. Like you've got a good quarterback and a good pass rush, but then this week you're missing half your pass rush. And so you're not getting home with like one good pass rusher against the Lions. Yeah. So I just think they're different classes, these teams.
Agreed. All right, so -2.5 in the first half at 183. All right, that's we're run through our best. But anything else there, Brad, jumping out? I just saw on Will Levis is starting for the Titans, the Chargers. That's actually worked against them. The market is moving more with the Chargers since I looked an hour ago, which is no major surprise. Probably even a downgrade in Rudolph. Chargers are kind of a covering machine as well, Brad. Like they're a team that, again, don't make the mistakes. Harbaugh comes in, he tightens up everything. Remember the Chargers of previous years that they were just so bad to back. Like they're being infuriating. But I know it's a big enough number to cover, and they don't have a home advantage there. But the Titans could just kill themselves like they did Detroit a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't put you off Chargers at all. Like our old pal Brandon Thorne, who I've got to give him his weekly shout out. He's got mismatches on both sides of the ball for the Chargers. So like offensive line over Tennessee and defensive line. So if you're better along both sides of the ball, you're better coached, and then one quarterback turns the ball over 4 times a game. Like you probably won't have a bad bet. Let's put it that way.
Well, take it like this way, right? The Eagles are -7.5 in Dallas. I'd sooner back the Chargers -7.5 than the Eagles -7.5. Just in terms of even coaching, like Sirianni has got to be one of the most excruciating guys to deal with, like in terms of the play calls, and some of the decisions are just off the wall.
Yeah. And it's a juice 7. You could get -7,
Yeah.
-118 currently, or you might get slightly better than that on Matchbook. That was Pinnacle.
Yeah,
So
one to watch
you get a
anyway.
7.
Yeah.
Yes. Chargers are a good team.
Let's recap what we have, mate. First game, Falcons and Saints. Juwan Johnson, the tight end for the Saints, 25 plus receiving yards at 186. Brad likes the Patriots plus 3.5 in the first half at the Bears at 191. Same game, I like Hunter Henry, 50 plus receiving yards at plus money 2.15. Justin Jefferson, 100 plus receiving yards at 2.0. He's pretty good. It's a pretty square thing to say, but yeah, I like that bet. Brad likes the 49ers team total over 27.5, pretty key number, -133. And Khalil Shakir, 60 plus receiving yards at 2.05 in the the Bills at the Colts. And Brad obviously likes, we just touched on it there, the Lions -2.5 in the first half. All right, sir, what's the best bet for you this week, man?
Lions 2.5 first half, please.
Lovely stuff. I'll take Khalil Shakir, 60 plus receiving yards at 2.05. Scheme up all those plays. Enjoy, mate. Best of luck to all your bets and all that kind of jazz. See you next week. The outro never played, Black. Never played. So just to go with it, man.